Well, we tried. I want to just review a little bit of the history about this bill. Senate File 512 we passed initially on March 22nd by a vote of 36 to 12 because the Senate on a bipartisan basis believed that we should pay our bills. And so we passed it 36 to 12 on March 22nd. And as you know, earlier today we amended it to again pay our bills and combine that with the coupling tax changes that I think we all support. And we passed that on a unanimous bipartisan basis of 50 to nothing. You'll recall the history that on February 17th, before this crisis in government, this mini government shutdown began where the state refuses to pay people who have already done work for the state, we passed on a unanimous bipartisan basis a 49 to nothing bill, Senate File 209, to take care of this problem. Colleagues, the Senate has repeatedly done its work, and we've done it intentionally in a bipartisan manner so that the state could meet its obligations to pay the people who it owes money to. And I want to say a little bit about the merits of the issue. Some people might say, oh, ha 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 ha, we're not paying lawyers, ha 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 ha. Right? You know what people think. Yeah, well, that's just lawyers. Well, a couple things. This is not just attorneys. It's the court reporters, the investigators, and the interpreters, and the employees who work for these people. Haven't gotten paid by the state since February 22nd. Almost 1,000 Iowans who have provided service and their employees. I received an email yesterday from an attorney in Cedar Rapids who actually has visited a food bank because she hasn't gotten paid for her work. And that's another point. Now, no offense to anybody, but these are not attorneys who have offices on the penthouse of 801 Grand. These are young attorneys, for the most part, new attorneys, attorneys who may have chosen a public service rather than a life of making more money, a preference they have, whatever reason. But by and large, they are small business people across this state who need this work so they can pay their bills. So, we have tried, I think, in good faith, a whole lot of things in a bipartisan approach so that we could get this done. And we've run up against a rock wall in the House Republicans who would rather have a mini government shutdown than have the state pay its bills. And that's wrong. We've tried every way we can, so they say, well, the only option that we will agree to is to let the governor transfer money out of some other budget. And you all can think about the budgets he might have to look to if Governor Branstad does that. Well, that's not right. That's wrong. Governor Branstad has said he doesn't want to participate in bad budgeting practices like that. I agree with that. We've given him the straightforward way to do this. But the House Republicans have refused to concur in the amendment that we sent them earlier today. And so now we are here with the point where we have a decision to make. Do we insist and have a second conference committee on the same issues? Or do we recede from this and send it downstairs and see what Governor Branstad does with it? And at this point, it would be my recommendation that we recede from our amendment. The House Republicans said, well, we won't do it your way. Okay, we'll try it their way. We are going to work to find a way to have the state meet its obligations to pay its bills. How many of you would like to live without getting a paycheck for 6 weeks? That's what we're asking about 1,000 Iowans and their employees to do. And I think that is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. The House version is a solution. It's not the ideal version. It's not the version that I would have done. It's not the version that we voted for. But it is a way to deal with the problem, and we'll see what Governor Branstad thinks of that. At some point, we've got to get to a resolution on this so that people who have done the work can get paid. The state of Iowa ought to pay its bills.